What can you see with your mind's eye? So today I thought I'd talk about using visualization to assist in magic. Visualization is one of the biggest and most important skills that you're going to need when you practice magic or any type of spell work, whether it be high magic or low magic. By visualization, I mean the ability to essentially daydream, the ability to see things not only when you close your eyes and picture things in your mind, which would be in the mental plane of existence, but also to see things with your eyes open. If you were one of those kids that was able to daydream quite easily and picture different things that are out of a fantasy world, or being able to take yourself mentally to someplace else just by thinking about it, then you have a good skill set for working with magic and occult energies. When you are casting a circle, for example, if you are able to see the energy that you are pushing out there, it is much more powerful and much more effective. For people that do not have a very good skill at visualizing yet and are working on building it, there are several different exercises that can be used to assist in building that visualization skill, just like in meditation. One of the ways that I started to build it was I would meditate. I would close my eyes, and for some reason I can't meditate sitting up. I'm just terrible at it. I can't meditate sitting, so I would lay down and I would picture something, whether it be a cup, a pencil, just an object that you were able to clearly make a picture of in your mind. See how long you can hold it for. See how long you can hold that picture in your mind. Cat's moving the computer again. I don't know if anybody else knows that bumping. So an object that's near and dear to you, something that you know all the parts of, picture it in your mind and see how long you can hold it there. For most people, you can hold it for only a couple of seconds, then your brain will start to drift off into something else. That's okay. The second you're able to catch yourself and notice when you are shifting your attention, just bring it back. Meditation and visualization is like a muscle. The more you practice with it on a daily basis or as often as you can get to, the more easier it's going to get. Growing up, I would do a lot of daydreaming when I was on the bus to and from school, and that's where I got my knack for being able to visualize stuff, which really helps me work with magic. Cat's tail. So essentially, when you are practicing with these things, you focus on what you are able to make in your mind and build it. If you're able to hold something for about 20 seconds to a minute, that means you're getting very, very good at it. Would you quit messing around? Seriously? A little hyper today. Anyway, as you practice and build this skill up, sometimes you are able to not only see it in your mind's eye, but with your eyes closed, sometimes you'll be able to start to see whatever object or whatever you are thinking about actually starting to form behind your eyelids. You might not be able to see it fully, you might be able to see an outline of something, but that means that your skill is growing bigger. One of the ways that you could start to build this is just to think of a simple shape. So when you're closing your eyes and you think of a shape, like my favorite shape is a triangle, so you think of a triangle and you focus on it, you might actually start to see the little bit of light that kind of goes in through your eyelids start to make a shape. And as you are building this skill, practice it both in meditation. Stop moving my computer, dude. All right. You guys know the drill by now. She's a little nuts. Anyway, so as you start to build this skill, bring it out into the real world. With your eyes open, while you're going about your daily business, take a look at an object. Picture it moving with your mind's eye and really focus on seeing it through your actual two eyes. The more that you practice on this, I know it's very difficult to believe, but the more that you practice this skill, the more that you will be able to see it. So when you are casting a circle, for example, and you hold your finger or your wand out and you are tracing the energy line on the floor, you could picture it with your favorite color. So you start to see for example, a blue line going across the floor. Really? Pixie? Hold on, guys. You need to stop bumping my screen. I might just kick her out of the room. Hold on. Yeah. That tends to happen sometimes when I'm making videos, in case anybody hasn't noticed. So, as you start to picture these different things, like for example what I was talking about, casting a circle, you start to see in your mind's eye and in your physical eyes that circle that you are casting. She made it back through the door. I have no idea how. Essentially, as you're practicing with this, you'll begin to experiment with it, maybe change different colors. Maybe the first color you picked didn't work for you. Maybe you're able to picture certain situations better than others. Like, I could picture objects moving very, very easily, very early on. When it came to actually seeing a circle, when I would cast circles, that became a little bit more difficult, and I really had to focus on it. Some people that I know are more empathic or are more able to feel things than they are to visualize things. That's all well and good. And you might be able to push energy around and create barriers or draw circles just by feeling the protection. But growing with the visualization practice is essential for making magical spells or any energy work actually work. So practice with meditation, practice with visualizing things both with your eyes closed and your eyes open, and you can make essentially anything happen. If you want to draw a ward up on your door to keep negative energies out, or even some people out of your room, then you can, move your hand over the door and picture a blinding color or a blinding light, or even a keep out sign on your door. There's a multitude of different examples that you can think of. Think of any movie that has to do with magic, or any movie that has to do with sci-fi and fantasy. You could picture any of those different things and use them in spell work. Visualization works really, really well for when you are doing spells that have to do with working with a certain deity. You can close your eyes, go into the mental plane, and actually picture yourself discussing things with that deity. Now, some people might think that this is all playing make-believe in your head, but to open up a channel to the higher levels where those deities are, you kind of have to play along with this a little bit at the get-go. Because the more that you visualize that connection with a being, the more you are opening yourself up to a connection with that being. So the first time or two, you might have a hard time visualizing it. The first time or two, if you ask a deity or ask an entity a question, you might get an answer that might come from your own head, or you might think it came from your own head when it's really that deity talking through you. The more that you visualize, the more that these experiences will become real to you. Visualization is a very, very hard to develop skill, and it's hard because it takes commitment and time and a lot of practice. It's just like working out. You're not going to get any muscle tone if you only work out once a week. So continue to visualize things in your everyday life. Play around with your imagination. Grow it, shape it, and see how far you can take it. And then use that visualization and your imagination in rituals, spell work, high magic, low magic, what have you, to enrich the magic that you are weaving in the world. So those are a little bit of my thoughts on visualization. Anybody else has any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comments or shoot me an email or whatever, and I might be able to create a second video on this. So close your eyes and picture what you want to create in the world. Manifest it and use your abilities and grow them to create and shape the world around you. Good hunting.